afternoon so far with us. Now I'm very proud to present Libu Tang to be our keynote speaker for our annual conference today. Libu Tang is the founder and chairman of Walden International, a leading venture capital firm managing cumulative capital commitments of $3.6 billion. He concurrently serves as CEO of Cadence Design Systems and has been a member of the Cadence Board of Directors since 2004. He currently serves on the board of SoftBank Group. Libu focuses on semiconductor, components, cloud and edge infrastructure, data management and security, and AI machine learning with over 35 years of venture capital experience. He led or co-led investments in handful, some examples: Quanxia, which was acquired by Marvell, Umbrella, Annapurna, acquired by Amazon, Synapse Labs, Credo, Fungible, GoPro, and the list goes on and on. Proteantex, Samba Nova, and many others. Libu received his Bachelor of Science from Nanyang University in Singapore. He is a Master of Science in Nuclear Engineering from MIT. Libu currently serves on the Board of Trustees and the School of Engineering Dean's Council at Carnegie Mellon University. A member of the College of Engineering Advisory Board at UC Berkeley, Libu has been named one of the top 10 venture capitalists in China and was listed as one of the top 50 venture capitalists on the Forbes Midas list. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy Libu's presentation.
Thank you for inviting me to give a keynote at the CASPA annual conference. I'm very honored to be here. Unfortunately, due to COVID situation, I'm not able to meet you in person. I'm very excited to share what I see as the important industry trends and share some of my AI-enabled hardware, data platform, software 2.0, and medical applications, investment strategy and portfolio, and what Cadence Design is doing to enable AI innovation. We are in the midst of 5 generational waves that are driving the industry: 5G, autonomous driving, industrial IoT, hyperscaler computing, and AI ML. These waves open up tremendous opportunity and are connected by common theme, data. A few years ago, people were thinking semiconductors was a slowing and sunset industry, but not anymore. All these generation drivers and data-centric era are driving a renaissance in semiconductor, and we are currently facing a supply chain issue, and it's due to overwhelming broad-based demand. It is a great time to be in the semiconductor and electronic industry. It's all about data. There's a huge amount of data being generated every day, and all this data needs to be transmitted, stored, processed, and analyzed. All this require high-performance compute, high-bandwidth transmission, and high-density storage, which call for a lot of innovation on all fronts: architecture, design, EDA, IP, and manufacturing ecosystem. The untapped potential here is tremendous. 90% of the data that exists today was generated in only the last 2 years. And 80% of that data is unstructured, graphic, video, and etc. Most importantly, currently only 2% is analyzed, and interestingly, that number is projected to going down from the current 2% to 0.5% over the next 5 years as the rate of data generation outpaces the already explosive growth in data analytics. One of the big drivers is the hyperscale computing. Hyperscalers are at the heart and center of the silicon renaissance and data revolutions. They are spending massively on CapEx, estimated at over $120 billion last year. There are 600 hyperscale data centers, and over 100 have opened in the pandemic year. Hyperscalers participate in all stages of the data cycle and are pushing the need for innovation in technologies across compute, memory, storage, and networking. They are pushing the design envelope in order to provide differentiations and best user experience with domain-specific computing targeted for their specific workload. In order to achieve their ambitious targets, they are pushing the most advanced process nodes down to 3 nanometer, 2 nanometer, and using the latest protocol IPs, HBM2E, PCIe Gen 6, CXL 2.0, and etc. They also need the most advanced packaging solutions, including 3D IC. This chart shows the estimated growth for AI hardware market segmented into processor, memory, and network. As you can see, the need of high-performance compute platform is still driving the growth. There is increasing competition among established companies and startups in this market, leading to many innovation solutions. Now let us talk about how AI is currently being deployed. The standard cloud model is training is done in the cloud, and the trained model is then deployed at the edge for inferencing and basic analysis. Data is also sent back to the cloud to restrain the model, and if deeper analysis is required. As AI processing and algorithms become more efficient, more and more functionality is moving to the edge, to on-demands and edge servers. More inferencing and analysis are being done on device, and edge servers are handling more workloads that are used to go to the cloud, including training and more real-time analysis and decision-making. This trend will accelerate. By some estimates, only 20% data is processed at the edge today, and by 2030, 80% will be processed at the edge. Let us look at the hyperscaler infrastructure in more detail. There are several modules for data processing, storage, network infrastructure, and organization and analysis. As you know, in addition to serving as Cadence CEO, I'm also founder and chairman of Walden International. In this position, I have met many innovative startup companies across the entire space. I will introduce some of them to you. First, let's look at the data processing. General purpose computing is everywhere. In this regard, I have deployed and invested in Annapurna Lab, which was acquired by Amazon. Nuvia, this is an ARM-based server acquired by Qualcomm. In the future, more and more heterogeneous compute pool will be seen, and this will contain more workload-specific computing platform, such as Habana Labs, which was acquired by Intel for $2 billion, Sambanova reconfigurable data flow platform, and lately Speed Data, which is the acceleration of big data and analytics processing system. In the next few years, you will see more practical application of quantum computing. In this area, I invested in PSI Quantum and IonQ. In addition to computing, the latest cloud architecture also requires high-performance networks and storage. In this area, I invest in Innovium, which was acquired by Marvell, Excite, and Inphi, which was acquired also by Marvell for $10 billion, and Cradle. And in terms of next generation storage and system, I invest in CNEX Labs, and that is doing the NVMe and controller, and Lightbits that providing the NVMe over fiber for storage, and Fungible that is doing the disaggregation of the storage. And then above that, clearly is how to organize and manage the data. And I also invest in Katana Graph, doing the graph analytics, and Snorkel.ai, doing the data labeling and data management. And on top are the various applications and services. Just to highlight a few, in the industrial IoT, I invest in Rescale, via imaging, and then also the medical healthcare drug discovery, like Inference, In Vitro, Berkeley Lights. And also on the enterprise application, I invest in data chat, that is using the natural language for, they call it the conversational intelligent platform that they are building. So this is very exciting on the whole infrastructure for the data-centric application. In order to accelerate the hardware proliferation and adoptions, I've been busy investing in creating AI-enabled data platform, software 2.0, and AI medical solutions. A couple examples like Databricks and Celonis that is doing the process mining execution platform, and Voltron is a unified data platform using Apache Arrow. And I mentioned earlier, and then there are some others data platform that I'm investing in. On the Neo AI-enabled medical and drug discovery, like Altera.ai, Variational.ai, and many others are in the formations. For the past 5 years, Cadence has been embracing this new data-centric era with our intelligent system design strategy. At the core is design excellence, which is the EDA and IP used to design complex chips for all of you for building. Next level is system innovation, as companies are looking beyond silicon for system-level integration and core optimization. Over the last couple of years, we have invested significantly at the system level, especially in terms of 3D IC, computational fluid dynamics, we call it CFD, system simulation, embedded software, and security, and the software bring-ups. The third space is the AI data analytics, where we provide AI ML technologies to our customers and enable them to develop more intelligent products. The key things here is that all these three things are connected in what we call computational software, which is our core competent expertise. And we have more than 5,000 people in the R&D, and their expertise in numerical analysis and computational software is being applied to all these three core areas. And the great thing is that these three core areas are present, used in multiple vertical product segments, from consumers to hyperscaler to aerospace defense to automotive, all the way to medical. So it is very exciting to be part of this journey with you, and we look forward to deliver more valuable solutions to our customers. Cadence is fully leveraging AI ML technology to provide better tools and solutions to our customer as shown in this chart. First, we call ML Insight, where ML technology is applied to improve results of our existing tools. As you can see from the blue logos around this circle, we have already enhanced many of our tools with AI ML technology across full spectrum of our offering, including digital, custom verification, PCB, and packaging with significant improved result in PPA and runtime. And they are ML outside, where ML and other technologies are applied to intelligently automate the flows and solution across the entire design flow to dramatically improve efficiency and productivity. This is another important area that is transforming user experience and productivity. And we currently have focused on the two most widely used flows for digital implementation and design verification with Cerebrus and Xcelium ML. Finally, we are providing AI and ML technology that enable our design partners with silicon and software technology to build their solution. This is Tensilica platform that I will talk more. There are also many new exciting technology we are working on, so stay tuned as this list will grow much bigger. One recent tool I'd like to highlight is Cerebrus Intelligent Chip Explorer. This is an example of ML outside, built on the full digital design and sign-off flows. It revolutionized the chip design process, transforming the team workload, resulting in significant chip implementation productivity gains and better silicon performance, power, area, and specs. We have several important customers that have deployed this and have seen tremendous, remarkable results, more than 10 times productivity and 20% PPA improvement. What is important about Cerebrus is it automates the entire design, digital design, and sign-off flow, including RTL synthesis, floor planning, place and route, and optimization, clock tree synthesis, design, route, and sign-off closure. Here, I'd like to show you some of the results from our customer on the benefit of using Cerebrus. As you can see, in addition to significantly better performance, power, area results, the remarkable things about Cerebrus is that it can vastly improve engineer productivity and reduce customer design cycle. Let's briefly listen to our president, Anirudh Devna, describing the Cerebrus.
Now, today I also briefly mentioned our new advancement in ML with Cerebrus. It's a truly unique technology and we're getting great results. So we just launched Cerebrus in July and the results are phenomenal. Instead of manually driving Genus and Innovus, Cerebrus uses machine learning to mathematically drive Genus and Innovus. So it's like advanced driver assistance for chip design. And Genus Innovus still have to deliver the best PPA and we have leadership in the market. But a lot of time the user have to drive them by different options, whether it is design options or tool options or process combinations. But with Cerebrus, we can do that mathematically. And by running it on multiple machines, we can mathematically explore what floor planning to use, what design options, what power methods, and can get dramatic improvements in PPA. And I'm pretty pleased with the foundation of Cerebrus, the mathematical foundation using reinforcement learning. And these methods can be applied to other parts of EDA and system design and analysis.
And now, let us hear from our customers on the benefits of using Cerebrus.
At Renesas, we have a wide range of the products which are based on many different process nodes, depending on the application and performance requirements. Using the distributed computing capabilities, Cerebrus did about 100 runs and could optimize not only the implementation flow, but the floor plan. Based on about 50 runs, Cerebrus generated a new flow and a new floor plan that delivers better performance by over 10% for this high-speed CPU, saving us many months of the manual floor planning and flow tuning effort. This is exactly the kind of productivity benefit we are hoping to achieve by working with Cadence on the Cerebrus technology.
In order to enable moving AI to the edge, we recently announced our new AI IP strategy and Tensilica scalable AI platforms for on-device to edge AI applications. This provides technologies and building blocks that is scalable to the demands of your edge AI application. Well, thank you for attending my keynote speech. And we are delighted in this exciting industry that we talk about the AI growth and applications, and also the whole data platform and the software 2.0, and then vertical application like medical and drug discovery. It is very exciting to be in this industry, especially in the AI ML application, and enjoy the rest of the event.
Wow. Mr. Tan, that was impressive. First of all, you have a long list of companies that you have invested over a long period of time, and then you have all those tools that from Cadence take full advantage of AI, ML, and helping customers from cloud to drug discovery. It's truly amazing. But before I jump into the a few questions here and have you to share with us more, on the behalf of Caspa, I want to say it's truly an honor to have you to join us. This is a very special milestone, Caspa's 30th anniversary. And, we know you have been here since 1 o'clock. And for that, we are truly grateful. Thank you.
First of all, I think congratulations, 30th anniversary. Caspa is very important for the Chinese semiconductor industry, and we are delighted to be part of that and to support, with our best tool and IP to enable designer to design all the coolest products that we all can have, and that will continue to do that. And then meanwhile, I've been heavily investing in semiconductor, while a lot of my VC friends are dropping out. And last count, we make about 190 investment in semiconductor. So, just last year, I make about 15 investment, and this year so far, already 17 investments. So I put money where my mouth is.
It's fair to say your faithfulness in this industry paid off handsomely. That's great. That's great to hear. I think it's fair to say among our Caspa members and the audience today, and we have several hundreds of them today, a lot of them have been counting on you and your company, Cadence, right? Whether it's IPs or tools, and a lot of times combination of both. So, of course, Cadence is no stranger to us. And congratulations, if I'm not mistaken, Cadence again is on the list of best companies to work for, right? For what, 7 years in a row?
Yes.
What I heard is, among other things, like during the pandemics, right? 2 stipends to purchase home office equipment, provide backup child and elder care, additional holidays, flexible work schedules. It's just very, very impressive. Do you care to share with us a little bit more? How did you build such successful and winning culture at Cadence?
Well, yesterday is my 13-year anniversary at Cadence, and 2008 I stepped in as the CEO. And if I had to single out one thing that I helped Cadence is provide the new culture for Cadence. The culture of Cadence is we care about the employees, we care about our customer, and care about our partners. I'm a basketball volleyball player at the college, and so team culture is very important. We embrace the team, and the most important asset of the company is the employees. And then we really provide that culture of one team, delight customer. And so not just satisfy the customer requirement, we go extra mile to meet the customer, make sure that they are happy. And that is very, very important. And we take pride in what we do in terms of providing the best solution. I create a culture of innovations. So every year we have 7 to 10 new products organically developed. And then so that's culture of innovation, take pride in what we do. And then the other part, go extra mile with the customer, make sure the customer tape out correctly. And then we have deep partnership with our foundry partner and make sure that whatever we design using our tool, it will be able to fabricate first time pass. That is very important, as you know, in the semiconductor industry. And that's something that we take pride on. I think, all in all, I think I'm very proud of my team. It's a team culture. It's not a one person. And then that's something that I really take pride on.
Yeah, if Cadence is a volleyball basketball team, there's no question that your Cadence team would have been Olympics. That's in 2008, right? For some of us who have been here long enough, 2009 was the Great Recession, and from the bottom of the valley, you were able to bring your team all the way to where you are today. That's again truly mesmerizing.
Yeah, I'm a big time Warrior fan, and remember the Warrior is team strength. And that's where the culture of Cadence is a team strength.
Great, it's encouraging to hear that. Kind of we talk about Cadence. Let's talk about the investment part of your day. What advice do you have for entrepreneurs? And related to that, what qualities do you look for when you invest in a company and its founders?
Yeah, a couple of things. One, if I have any advice for the entrepreneur, it's very important to think big and think something that you're going to change the world, and think something that you're going to be, because of your design, your unique way of make it happen, to be faster and more cost effective. And then more important, providing a service to make the world better. And that's something that you think big. And then the other part is always think about building a team, building a culture to last. And it's very important. Sometimes the entrepreneur have idea, is one person. I told him that look for your partner, see what I'm not good at, bringing somebody that complement you. And then like any company, if you're not successful, you want to have a team, just like basketball team. So I think team is very important. Think big, don't think small. And then I always focus on what is a TAM market, what is a market that potentially you can address. So sometimes don't underestimate yourself, think big, but take step by step. And so I always look at, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, seed round, series A, series B, cash flow is everything. With the entrepreneur I back, make sure that every round they have oversubscribed at a higher valuation, like less dilution, so that you bring different partners, different team, and then more important, focus on customer. Make sure whatever you design, customer need that, and they will pay a lot of money for it. And that, I think, is a great success. And then the other part, finally, is a long journey. So you just have to, just like marathon, you just have to run 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I have some company 20 years before they exit. And I still remember one company just went public, and I congratulate him, to be a great public company. And then the first thing email he said that, Lip-Bu, I apologize, take so long. I said, nothing to be apologized, when you reach 15 billion and market cap, and nothing to apologize. But the first thing he apologized, Lip-Bu, sorry to take that long. But we have been patient, even though it takes 15 years, we stay with him. So that's my advice in terms of for the entrepreneur. In terms of what I'm looking for, a little bit similar. I'm looking for the TAM market, how big it can be potentially, can build. And then secondly, the team. What are the team members? Beside engineering, go to market, and how do you going to finance it? And there's a very thoughtful plan that recently I start 2 companies, and then I recruit almost 70 people in 2 months. And then it's a lot of teamwork, and then recruiting the best talent that you can get on board. Almost every night, I try to persuade somebody to join this startup. And then, that is kind of fun part of it. And it's not just a between board meeting. A lot of things happen between board meeting. That's where I spend most of the time. Board meeting is just a formality. And then I usually try to have them cut short to 1.5 hours, 2 hours, because most of the thing I already knew. And then really focus on the thing that happening with between board meeting. And that's where the heavy lifting is. And then I always believe working as one team, there's no ego. Let's build something that we can be proud of. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you look back, you take pride on what you accomplished, even though it's a lot of hard work. Not everything is a hockey stick. Always have all the up and down. And I always sometimes even got 2 hours AM, 2 a.m. call. Some crisis happen. And then like the supply chain, some material cannot get enough. I jump on it. I call Japan, call Taiwan, call China, make sure that the CEO get the supply they need so that they can ship the product. So those are the things that we add value rather than just giving lip service. Actually make the call, make the meetings, and make sure that they get whatever they need, either financing, product, raw material, supply chain. I think you're going to have a panel going to be on the supply chain is a real issue, and then how do you solve that? And then sometimes I even had to call the chairman of that supply chain, CEO, and then make sure that we get that orders that we need to have, and then prioritize it. So those are the things I look for.
Wow, that's I think, yeah, so a lot of that is about teamwork. A lot of that is paying attention to details. A lot of that is about persistence. It's not 2-3 years, it's 15, 20 years. That's great advice. I'm sure among our audience, a lot of them will love to get a call from you, whether it's in the process of trying to build a startup or looking for a small company to invest. Well, other than those who are in the supply chain, in a time like this, they probably don't want to get a call from you. So, earlier you mentioned the Cadence tools. For a lot of that is addressing the advanced technology. Do you believe, as we go from N7, N5 down to like 3 nanometer, Do you believe Moore's law is slowing down given we are like pushing to the bleeding edge?
Yeah, so I think clearly, the advanced technology is very important. There's a lot of innovation needed. And I'm very pleased to see the US government starting to pay attention to semiconductor. This is very fundamental. The last 15 years, I've been talking about how important is semiconductor. But to be candid with you, sometimes I go to my fellow VC firm. When I talk about semiconductor, they all walk out the room. And or do you have anything in software as service or some the social media? And then now they're starting to chase me. What are the new semiconductor deals you put together? We like to put money in. So it's a very nice change. And but there's a lot of innovation needed. So I think clearly Moore's law is not dead. It's just slowing down. If you recall, double your transistor performance, power, and price, by in 18 months, but it's not able to sustain now. So I think there's some new, typical engineers, we always know how to leapfrog and then work around the corner. And so right now we're doing a lot of massive parallelism using AI and machine learning to drive some of the design, make it better. And then some of the packaging technology become very critical. I think Hong talked about some of this optical packaging. I think it's a bottleneck, and then the packaging technology become very, very critical in terms of driving some of the power down. And I see a lot of design by driving some of the packaging, and you bring down the power and then drive the performance is critical. And then the other part is some new material is starting to emerge. And I'm really investing in gallium nitride, heavily investing in the silicon carbide, indium phosphide, and I look at a few others, even quantum computing, some of the new material to do that. And so I think there's so much innovation. And that's why, as you know, from Cadence and myself, we endow quite a few professorships. And then because some of the professors, we want to reach out to them, from MIT, Stanford, Berkeley. Semiconductor is no more sunset industry. And then the professors are the most influential because they tell their students, their postdoc, where to go. And then rather than recommend them to go to Facebook or Google or Databricks, they should tell them semiconductor, there's a lot of innovation, a lot of heavy lifting. They should come to Cadence, they should come to semiconductor company. And that's very, very important. And we have a very big program in terms of college recruit and also internships, even though we did pandemic. We have a very active recruitment. Last year, we almost have more than 1,000 employees we recruit on. And in fact, some people tell me that I think go to college is already too late. You should start from high school. So I say, okay, let's start from high school. And so I think, again, you just to let people know there's so much innovation in our semiconductor industry. The world need that, and then the US need that. And then, so I think it's important. There's so much innovation. I wish I have 48 hours a day, but unfortunately, everybody is equal. We all have 24 hours, so you just have to squeeze in as much as you can,
Wow. Yeah. So, hey, I know Professor Bora is still with us. And now Professor Bora, you know why we invite you to this today's event. And also this morning, we gave out, we offered a scholarship to outstanding high school students. So maybe next year we will invite your HR team from Cadence to join us for that event.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of future engineers among us.
We'll be delighted. And I think those are the future leaders in our industry. We need to invest in them.
Great. Okay, finally, I know you have been here with us all afternoon. Eventually, this COVID-19 or Delta variant will be behind us all, right? I'm sure of that. Probably will be sooner rather than later. And, clearly, how we live, work, engage have been different. Do you think, will we experience a new normal or better normal after this?
Yeah, I think, we're going to move into, I call it a new model. And I think some of you may have the same experience. And actually, if you do it right, actually you can be even more productive. And because I live in Piedmont and I had to drive Santa Clara every day, it took me about 3 hours round trip. And I found that, you know what, that 3 hours, you can be more productive working from home. And so even in the new normal, I may go to office 3 days and 2 days maybe just working from home. And then thanks to Eric Yan and the Zoom, I mean, I have mornings, sometimes 5 a.m. in the morning until midnight, my breakfast and lunch until I'm a very disciplined. I swim and gym every day, but you have to take some time out. And then, but it's so effective, and using Zoom, you can travel the world in a meeting in Korea, to Singapore, to China, to Europe, long hours, get so much thing done. And so I think, even surprised me. I thought that, usually I like to see the people shake their hand before I make it. The last, the 17 investment I make, and then many of them, I haven't met them in person, and then mostly just through Zoom, and it can be done. So you look back and say, hey, this is some of the traveling, it may not necessarily be necessary. I think I still miss that social networking. I'm, meeting outside behind my garden to do that, but it's not the same. But I think there's some kind of more efficient way to do both. So I think the hybrid will be the way to go. And then, of course, safety to the employee, to the customer and partner is most important. So this period, we don't know how to predict. My gut feeling, second half of next year, thing will get to a little bit more normal. And I'm looking forward to that.
Great. Yeah, I know, in the last several months, we were working with ranging,
Yes.
right? It's going to be in person, it's going to be virtual. Given the Delta variant, we decided to do this over Zoom, right? And like you said, thanks to Eric Yan, I think it works out pretty well this afternoon. So
yeah, I think so far so good. And then a lot of events actually they've done it virtually and very successful. And so I think thanks for your leadership and then the team leadership to decide to do virtual. I think it's the right decision.